Welcome back with Controversial Entertainment. Let's get moving with this one, guys. He's gone and done it, guys. He's gone and done it. That's right. Saul Canelo Alvarez has vacated. Did you hear that? He has vacated his WBA 160 pounds title. That's right, guys. He has vacated his WBA 160-pound title, guys. He has vacated his middleweight title. He did that on Friday, and he wants to focus on his 168-pound super middleweight division. That's what he wants to do. He wants to unify the belts at super middleweight, and therefore he has vacated the title at 160. So what does that mean for him, and what does that mean for other fighters who wanted to fight him specifically, right? Now, one of the first people that come to mind, guys, is guys like Errol Spence, right? Because he's been wanting to get a fight with Canelo, and he was happy to move up to 160. This now means that if someone like Spence wanted to fight Canelo, he would have to fight him at 168. That is insane. That is insane. Also, Canelo vacating the 160 belt means he avoids a lot of dangerous fighters at 160. Guys like Jamal Charlo, and everyone knows that's a fight that I really wanted to see, right? Golovkin versus Canelo, that's also out of the table now, unless Golovkin goes up to 168. And of course, Demetrius Andrade, that is also out of the table too, unless all these fighters go up to 168. Now, Charlo, Andrade, and Golovkin, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're all title holders, I believe. The current title holders, I believe. Now, I could be wrong, but I didn't double check it. But just from my general boxing knowledge, I believe they're all title holders, right? And it's not far-fetched for those guys to move up to 168 for a Canelo fight. But who knows? Who knows? So Canelo, he's done a Canelo move, and he's gone up. He's vacated the title. At least he's vacated that belt, because that belt hadn't been put into action for about... I mean, when was the last time Canelo made use of that title? When was the last time? Yeah, it's been about a year and a half now. Literally a year and a half since he defended that belt, guys. A year and a half. That's a year and a half of no fighter in 160 being able to fight for that title. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's called holding the belt, holding the belt ransom. So I'm glad he's relinquished it. So now what they're saying is the WBA, there's certain fights that they might make likely for that fight, for the title. Guys like Ryota Murata, who holds the WBA regular middleweight title, and guys like Chris Eubank Jr., who holds the WBA interim title, right? So there's every possibility that they might make the two of them fight for the belt that Canelo's just relinquished. Now, I need to do my research on Murata. I mean, I've heard of him, but I don't really know him like that. So I can't really comment on him. I know who Eubank Jr. is, and I know Chris Eubank Jr. also wanted the Canelo fight, and that would have been a really fan-friendly fight. But the WBA have also got a list of other opponents that they could sort of, cook something together to make a fight happen between them. Let me just read out some of the names on this weight class here, or for the WBA, should I say, those that are ranked by the body. So you got Chris Eubank Jr. at number 1, who's the interim champion, right? We got number 2, a guy called Magomed Madiev. Don't blame me if I butcher these names. They're not very easy to pronounce. Number 3, Carlos Lindsay Monroe. Number 4, Michele Vesialu. So Michele Vesialu is at number 4. Number 5, the old man Sergio Martinez, who had a long layoff, came back and beat a couple of journeymans, I believe. Sergio Martinez, I'm surprised this guy's still boxing, to be very honest with you. Number 6, Jamie Munguia. We all know who he is. Oscar De La Hoya seems to have a real liking to this guy lately. Number 7, David Papot. God knows who that is. Number 8, Michael Zarafa. Again, I heard of him, but I haven't really seen him enough. Number 9, Antoni Moratov. Again, I heard of him, I ain't seen him enough. Number 10, same thing, Alfonso Blanco. These are all the guys that are ranked, right, by the WBA. So someone there is going to have to challenge for that belt. It's most likely going to be Chris Eubank Jr. That is good news for Chris Eubank, and it's about time this guy receives some kind of good news his way, because this guy, he's been inactive. His career is hanging by a thread, in my opinion. He really needs to do something momentous. So this could be what Chris Eubank Jr. needs. But then, to be fair, anyone who wins that belt, you just got big fights coming up ahead of you. Easy fights are done and dusted in that weight division, I'm telling you guys. If these fighters want to get the purses that they want to get and want to get the viewership that they're after in terms of like pay-per-view fights and whatnot, they need to be getting in the ring with serious competition. Because us lot, the fans, we ain't really trying to see them fight mediocre anymore. In this bubble and whatnot, we ain't really trying to see fighters fight jokers. And I keep saying it, guys, the more we look, the less and less we get meaningful fights, the more fights like Jake Paul and whatnot, and the Connors and whatnot, the more those fights are going to be headlining screens. So the less we get the fights that we need to be seeing, the more we're going to get what I call these celebrity influencer fights. It's up to boxing what they decide to do, really and truly. In one way, they can keep feeding the sport and helping it to grow and helping it to become big, or they can stay as they've been consistently and just allow other avenues, other tweaks of the sport overtake the main sport, where you're getting celebrities boxing doing stupid numbers, whereas fighters are getting a fraction of that. So it's really up to the sport. But hopefully the WBA do the right thing. They could do a tournament. They could do a lot, to be fair. They could do a lot. But anyway, let's see what happens. I'm quite curious to find out what's going on. But Canelo, yeah, he's done it. He's relinquished the title. He has relinquished the title. But now I'm wondering, so is Canelo still going to fight Yildirim? I mean, I think he will do because Yildirim's 168. Yeah, there's no reason why that. Of course, he's probably going to fight him next, guys. I reckon that's the fight that's going to be made next. I know they're already negotiating it. I know Eddie Hearn is negotiating a 2-fight deal for Canelo, and Saunders seems to be somewhere in that deal. Let's see what happens. I will keep you guys posted. Traversal ENT here, guys. On with the next one.